we'll see as this goes on. Right, so today is going to be the hunter role. We'll go into a joust map first of all, and I should really just tweet this out that I'm starting now. Just pick Neath. Neath. Just tweeting out very quickly that I'm starting it for people because I'm a few minutes early, so I don't want people to miss it if they want to tune in. Advise it to your friends as well to come and watch. So, the hunter role in general, what your job in the early stages of the game is to farm. Okay, in the late stages of the game, you are what everyone terms the hyper carry in the most part. I mean, obviously some hunters are going to be more of a hyper carry than others. However, what you'll find is that your job at the end of the day will be to like pretty much 3-shot anybody that comes in your face. When I say 3-shot, most of the time it's 2 if you're full build. However, the tankier aspects like the Ymirs or, you know, the front line like the Sobex may take a couple more hits than 2, but that's at full build. So your main objective to be able to do that is to farm and get as much gold as possible. How do you get as much gold as possible? Sit in your lane as much as you can and farm. Play safe and farm. Play safe and farm. Play safe and farm. That's what your whole early game is all about. Now, I'm not going to discuss builds because builds at the start of the game is not something that builds are always going to change, right? So to look at builds, you're going to have to look at guides and see what builds are up to date right now. But for the most part, the role's pretty much going to stay the same unless something magical happens and we see a big meta shift to having like the hunter in the solo or in the mid lane or, you know, the jungle, which is very unlikely. But, you know, there are possibilities that things could happen in the meta. So for the most part, keep an eye, the builds are always going to be different. What I would advise though is when you look at builds, try and adjust the builds to your style as well, especially when you're first starting out. Play as safe as possible. Don't go greedy, like rushing items. Make sure you've got some sustain with you when you start the game off. So, start the game, what do you do? Well, you take your blue buff. Now, depending if you're right side or left side, this time we're left hand side, we're going to be starting our blue buff on this side with the help of your support, and you're going to take the blue buff and take to lane. If you were starting on the other side, you'll be doing the mid camps over here. And once you've done the mid camps with the mid, you'll go over to your blue buff, take that, and walk to lane. So for the most part, start of the game, you just want to play very safe in your own side of the jungle and give yourself some vision, you know, just make sure you can see if anyone's trying to invade you early or anything like that. Get your blue buff. So we won't be getting blue buff this time round just because we're in a bot game, just for the start of this, where I explain what you're going to be doing. And then yeah, you get your blue buff and go to lane, and you should hit level 2 after a couple of creeps in that lane generally after the blue buff. This time though, without taking the blue, going to be a bit delayed, but you'll see later on when we look at some replays that it's going to be different, okay? So blue buff spawns. Now normally you'll get this blue buff down nice and quick. Now on this side of the map as well, realise that the enemy hunter's on the right side this time, so they're taking the mid camps then going here. So realistically, you will make it to lane a little bit quicker than the enemy duo lane. So you want to be trying to push it out as much as possible. However, in this situation, it's not going to happen because it's bots. So the main thing is, farm and play safe. Now while you're farming, the whole idea is if you can get last hits, you get bonus gold, right? So last hits are very important if you can get them. And you want to be trying to push to the enemy tower because it puts them under pressure. Can you stop going so aggressive, please? So we're just looking to farm the minions. Now if you hit them, as you see, you get aggro from the minions. You should know this. So in the early stages, don't look to try and trade in fights unless they've got no minions. You know, just look to farm. Like they're both backing right now, but it's not going to be the point of this. So my whole point is to try and farm. Now the thing is, the minion that's the furthest forward is always going to get aggro, right? So you want to know that your minions are always going to attack that one. So try and make sure you pick it up at the right time. As you can see, I'm last hitting and getting a little bit bonus gold from it. Now and again, I'll make mistakes and not do it correctly. But the whole time, you're just looking to farm. Just looking to farm and play safe. And while you're farming, especially when, you know, your support's not in lane, you want to be making sure you've got vision of rotations. Like, you should always be keeping an eye out. Is mid still in mid? Is the jungler still in the solo lane? At this stage of the game, they've probably just left. So you've got to be aware of the timers as well to make sure you play safe. When you've pushed the tower during the early stages, there's a little tip, okay? The minions are all under tower now, yeah? Don't go aggressive here. Like, if you hit him under tower, like him going aggressive here is a mistake from his point of view. He shouldn't really be doing this. I'm just going to walk away. But there's nothing for me to farm right now. So why am I so overextended? Just play safe and farm. Like, for the early part, you just want to farm up and get big as you can. Get your items online. Get your stacks online. and look for that. So, a lot like the mid lane that we discussed, mid does a lot more rotations. Like, mid wants to farm all day too. See, this guy's just going aggressive. Mid wants to farm a lot too, yeah? But with mid, what you only look to do is rotate when you've pushed your lane out. Now, it's kind of difficult for you to rotate in time generally against the enemy hunter because he'll either follow you or he'll push your wave out because he's got great sustain as well. So you just have to watch yourself when you're doing that. So for the most part, push into tower to deny as much gold as possible. But play safe, you know? Once the minions are pushed in, like, walk up with the minions like this if you know you're safe to, especially if you got your support rotating around here. But once all these minions cross this line, just back up. There's no reason to be there. You go there, there's a chance you'll die, you know? You just back away. And he's missing gold because he's chasing me down, trying to go aggressive, and I've not lost a minion yet. Although my Ymir wants to continue farming, and Anhur's still trying to hit me. So I'm just farming, as you can see, just farming away. Get as many items as you can, as often as possible. Now, when this is pushed in, like you can see, these are going to go over the line. Then you can go, okay, what's available? Well, mid camps might be up. Well, I can look at rotating around there. Can I get back in time? Is he in lane? You've got to think about these sort of things. Like, can I get back in time before the next minion wave hits and gets pushed to my tower? So, let's see if I can do this. Well, like, I got him low. He was out of mana. So I'm going to rotate to mid and take these mid camps now. Pretend that they were up in this situation. You can take these, but you've got to watch your lane because you don't want to miss farm, okay? Getting these is great for farm if you've got the opportunity to do it. But if you've not got the opportunity to do it, sometimes it's just best to stay in lane and continue farming that. Don't miss experience for free. Don't miss gold for free. So we're taking these ones down straight away, going back to lane to continue the farm and continue getting gold as much as possible. And this is all you're going to be doing in the early stages of the game, is playing safe and farming up. If there's fights that break out because junglers turn up, yeah, you just got to handle them in this given situation. Most of the time, though, it's better just to play safe, you know? The early stages of the game, you can be good if you get big, but you're risking things if you do so, especially as a new player of the hunter role. You just want to learn to farm as much as possible, because the more you can push them into tower and get as much farm as possible, the less gold they're going to have and the more gold you're going to have. As you all know, that is kind of obvious stuff to say, really. So I'm just here to farm, in the most part. Now, the next thing to talk about is when to recall, because, like, you don't want to recall when there's going to be minions in the way for you to farm. So what you should be doing is pushing as hard as you can and then reading the minion wave. So right now, I've got a big minion wave going to his tower, okay? I could walk all the way up there to go and make sure he gets him into tower range, but I want to get back to base quickly because I can buy items now and I can get back to lane again. So I've bought all my items. I'm going straight back to lane. Look where the minion wave is. I'm not going to miss any experience from this because I've got myself back at a reasonable time. Random recalling, like when your wave's not pushed out, you're going to miss experience, you're going to miss gold. You need to make sure you push out these waves first. Sometimes you've got to make a hard call, though, in these lanes. Like, if the enemy hunter's aggressive or he's winning the lane because you've been ganked a couple of times, or, you know, your support's rotating and not supporting you as much, then you've just got to give up some experience sometimes and just realise that you have to go back to base at some point to buy items, to get bigger, to start stacking, really, to become this big threat in the mid-game. So, for the most part, just going to farm. And if he wants to go aggressive, like, just play safe, you know. Always remember, though, that when you're fighting these little duels between them, keep an eye on the minions, because the minions will aggro you. Like, if I walk all the way up here and hit Anhur, I'm going to get aggro from every single one of those minions, and that's going to chunk me down. If he fights me back here, I'm not going to get as much aggro. I'm only going to get, you know, probably the melee creeps, unless the ranged are in range. So the whole objective is to farm. And when we get to the mid-game, this is where it becomes a bit of a different beast, because you are an objective killer, really. You are technically like the hyper carry, as we discussed, and it all comes down to positioning. And when people say about positioning, what is positioning, really? Positioning is making sure you're in a safe spot and you always leave yourself an exit. So say, for example, we're fighting at the Gold Fury now. Always stay at your maximum range as much as possible. As you can see, like with this here, right here, you can see this little line here. That shows my auto attack distance, right? So it shows how far I'll be auto attacking. So try and stay at your max distance as much as possible, but always remember to leave yourself an escape exit. As you can see by like if we were fighting here, I've got multiple escapes. I can go this way, I can go this way, I can go backwards with the backflip as well. Always try and give yourself an option. You'll see this in the pro players like Shaggy Shank, for example, is a great example of when he came in with Rama against Game Hunter and kept himself at max distance and also gave himself exits. He had 3 possibilities on where to escape from when he engaged on Game Hunter there, just in case things got crazy. Always try and give yourself an exit during team fights and keep an eye on your positioning. Now, the one thing about the Hunter is you do a lot of damage late game with your crit and, you know, with your build and things. You'll do a lot of work. But one thing you want to watch more than anything is who's your priority target. That's the real question. Who is your priority target? Well, your priority target, realistically, is whoever is in front of your face. You might not agree with that, but that's the way it is. Whoever is in front of your face. If Ymir was on the enemy team right now, he's going to be coming after me. I should be auto-attacking him, okay? I shouldn't be trying to dive the back line right now to take on the 3 members that are dealing all the damage. No. You have to hit what's in front of you. Great wall, Ymir. You should be hitting what's in front of you at all time as a hunter. Basically, like, there's no reason for you to be trying to ignore the people in front of you to go to the back line to dive in for the back kill, you know? Because diving in for the back kill going to cause you a lot of issues because you're going to be out of position. Out of position, what does that mean? You're going to go down. You're going to get surrounded. You're going to get picked off. It's very, very easy to fall into that trap of chasing kills because you will do a lot of damage. And you can kill people very, very quickly. But, like, if I go aggressive on, like, this, you know, on the raw here, Sobek's behind me, I'm putting myself in a bad spot. So, like, me going aggressive on Sobek, onto the rocks, I know he deals more damage. Like, look at Sobek, he's just freely hitting me, as are the minions, and it's not going to always work out for you. So you want to be looking at all times to farm. When the laning phase is over as well, because, like, we'll just leave the lane just to reduce the sound. When the laning phase is generally over, which is about the 10-minute mark, depending on how fast the game's gone. You saw some games this weekend, and we've seen them in the past, where there's not been, you know, the laning phase hasn't ended quite quickly. The early games have been very slow. But when that's over, you still want to be farming as much as possible as a hunter. You want to continue to get as much as you can in terms of gold. Gold is very important to you, because your items are all, your damage is all based on the items that you pick up. If you look at your abilities to an extent, like, your abilities are not where you're going to be doing the max damage late game. You're going to be looking for your auto attacks are doing the max damage, and where do you get the damage for those auto attacks? In the items that you produce. Thank you, Steve-O, for that one. Shout outs to him for Steve Snow, sorry. Wow, double sub. Oh, chill out. Chill out, that's unusual. Double sub, wow. That's my first experience of one of them. That's ridiculous. Thank you so much to both of you, Typhlosion and Steve Snow. Really appreciate them. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You want to farm, you need the gold. Why do you need the gold? Let's look at your items, okay? These are just some generic items that we see quite often right now in the recommended list. You need 2200 gold for the Executioner. You need this, you need the Devourer's Gauntlet, takes up a lot. Your Deathbringer, which is one of the biggest items you can pick up for yourself. The Deathbringer, 3150 gold. That's so much gold that you need to get to be able to get big, get strong, and deal the damage you need to in these team fights. And so you've always got to be looking for that gold to get it. The levels obviously play some difference for cooldowns on some items, and they do scale pretty well on some of the abilities and things, but your damages and your auto attacks, and the only way to get that damage is to make sure that you get the gold. So always be hunting gold 24/7. Hunting kills is cool, you know, kills do give you gold, it's true. However, if you're hunting Anhur here, yeah, and he's already 0-6 in lane, he ain't worth much gold. He's not gonna, you know, he's not gonna be worth, if you choose in this situation, let's just imagine that Anhur was here. However, right-hand lane, I could be farming that right now, or middle lane. I could go and farm that and get two waves of gold there. Or do I go for the Anhur kill? What's more viable? What's more, you know, rationale to an extent of what's going to make me bigger towards the late stages of the game? If you're having a good lane, you've still got to keep an eye on what the other lanes are doing and who's the big issue. You know, is it going to be the Vamana in the solo lane that's super tanky and gone 0-6? Sorry, has gone 6-0? Or is the Anhur that you've stomped in lane and he's like 0-5 and he's not worth any gold? Always hunt the gold. Hunt the gold everywhere on the map. You want to be looking for big minion waves. When camps are up and not being taken, just take them, okay? Only times I don't advise taking camps is things like speed buffs and red buffs. Never take them away from your jungler or your mid laner in terms of just taking experience. If you do that, though, make sure that they're in the area to pick them up and put them to use. Just taking this now for the sake of taking it is cool for me to get some gold and I'm happy. But the problem with that is that I'm wasting a buff for my team, and it's not good, you know, it's not good overall for your team play. Conquest teaching Hunter. I didn't realise I put jungle on the tab, but okay, he's updated now. So, Farm, 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 and position yourself well. It seems really basic, and it's hard to really explain without going into a proper game and doing it. So what we'll do is we'll do some analysis of some viewer replays where they played hunter roles in the past, and we can look at their position and what they're looking to do and what their mindset should be at all times. Because there's more factors in this. This is the very, very basics of it really, is that you want to be in the dual lane, you want to be farming, and you want to be playing safe. Remember this, okay? Chasing for a kill is not as important than farming and staying safe to make sure you can continue to generate gold. The more you stay in a lane to farm, the bigger you'll get than that enemy hunter. If you force the hunter out of lane, great. If you can get a kill on the hunter, brilliant. But don't chase for it. Because if you chase for that kill, what's going to end up happening is the fact that you're probably going to miss minions, and you might get so low because of the chase that you've done that you have to go back to base. And if you have to go back to base, well, you're not earning gold. If you're not earning gold, you're not getting to the late game stage where you're going to two-shot people, which was the whole point of the hunter role. You want to be the biggest guy on the team. But talking about the positioning, we'll go back to that one when we go into the analysis. If you've got any questions now, please ask. When do you split push as a hunter? That's a good question. You split push as a hunter in a couple of situations, okay? One, is there an opportunity to do it because you can see everybody else on the other side of the map? For example, I can see the junglers over here, I can see Raz over here, and Poseidon split pushing now. Imagine if I was Poseidon, this isn't a bad call, you know, because I can see everybody else on the map, I know where they are right now. You should split push when the opportunity arises and it's safe to do so. The other option is if when you're very, very far behind and your team can't team fight. You'll know if your team can't team fight based off how often you turn up to the fights and things go badly. You know, you've been in those situations where you're like, they're so strong, we're so far behind, I shouldn't really be looking to team fight, I should be looking to split push and try and take the pressure off the lanes to make sure we back up. And that split pushing is all to do with farming. Like, you are a tower killer overall, so taking towers for your team is very, very important. But you can't do it if it's not safe to do so. If you've not got wards and you've not got vision, I mean, vision overall, generally you don't buy as many wards on a hunter, but you should do. Like, wards on a hunter are great because you can't always rely on your teammates to do so. So split pushing is great and really good, but you've got to make sure you do it at the right time, honestly. Split pushing is there to make sure you can get an objective on the map based off their rotation. Is the whole team middle lane now? Yes. Is there nobody in this lane? Can I get over to mid and do something against 4 members alone? No, I can't. What can I do? Split push. Those sort of options are what you're going to be thinking about. If I rotate to middle lane, they're all low health. Can I get a kill? Yeah. Can I get 2 kills? Possibly. Can I kill them all? Possibly. Then maybe you should rotate and not split push. Always remember, though, that when you're split pushing, the enemy team will be seeing that on the map, and you need to make sure you don't stick around too long. Otherwise, rotations like Anhur could happen to you, and you get picked off. So you've got to be very careful with split pushing. I need to update the sub goal because I've just got 3 subs today already, which is ridiculous. I'll just quickly do that because people just mention it in chat. We're on 5 now, 5 of 10. Yo, I can't believe I've got a double sub, got triple sub already. That's ridiculous. So that's the sort of basics of what you're looking to do in lane. It's hard to really explain without going to a proper game, so what we'll do is analysis to really do it. And I'll talk you through like what you're going to be wanting to do in team fight scenarios and what the people did who sent in the analysis replays and what they should have done, or maybe what they did really, really well. So we'll have to see, see how this goes forward. So farm, 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 get gold, get gold, get gold, and make sure... One thing to note as well about the pushing and making sure you don't miss experience and gold is make sure that you can get your stacking items online as soon as you can, okay? Push out, go back and get the stacking item, because the longer you wait to get the stacking items, the longer it takes you to stack them and get strong and big. Never trade with the hunter but if they're ahead of you in terms of build. How do you know they're ahead of build? Tab. Always be using tab and saying, okay, what's he got? Well, he's got Heartseeker, so he's been stacking that probably a little bit quicker than me. He'll do a lot of damage, and he's got more mobility, so that means I've got to watch my positioning more. You always want to be looking at the enemy hunter because he's a big threat to you in the lane overall. As well as, the support, if the support's gone something like Witchblade, that could cause you a lot of issues too. So what we'll do is we'll go through some replays and explain it and what's going on. So, analysis time. If you've got questions in chat, ask them as well, because this is all still part of the hunter thing today. Let's get up the analysis submission form, see what's going on. Right, let's take some more. I've got some all sorts. A Cupid solo, that don't count. I'm going to go back to the 23rd, because a lot of people sent them in. There's an Apollo one. Do that Apollo one, I think that sounds good. Do Apollo, then I've got an Ul and an Anhur. Brilliant, I've got a couple already. Slash replay. Let's see if this works. Boom. As you can see, it loads up the old game. It doesn't actually load up the actual replay screen, so we'll see when we get into this one. So this is going to be a replay of someone playing the Hunter role. And what we'll do, I think it's Mafuication playing Apollo. And what we'll do is we'll critique what he did, and we'll discuss what went well and what didn't go well through the whole of this game, okay? So, unfortunately, you might get a different camera angle than you're used to seeing. Just be used to it, because this is the way I cast, and it makes things really easy to do so. What? There's a secret sub goal when we hit 8 subs. Okay. I don't know how I can add that one in. At times like hard work. I'll sort it out in a minute, Fluffy. Anyway, you can just do it in chat. Anyway, right to this game. What we'll do quickly, I'm just gonna pause, and we'll just quickly sort out a few quick settings that are gonna make things easier. What team's Mafu on? He's on the other team. Great. So this is the enemy, and the viewer. Okay. This is the person we're going to be analysing, and the person we're going to be analysing, actually, for this replay, we should be doing it like this, so let's just find him first of all. What number is he on? Mini Math, here we go. So, going to be following Math in this game, and let's see how he plays this one out right at the start of the game, all the way through. So, at the start of this one, he's on the... for him, he's on the right-hand side, obviously, because we're facing this side. So he'll be doing the mid-camp at the start, as we discussed with the solo laner. So what you want to be doing here, now this is going to be key, okay? I'm going to mention this now, so I'm going to pause quickly. With this mid-camp that you can see on the map, what you generally want to do is take initial aggro for the mage in the middle. Pull the camp and stay in melee range to begin with. And then if the mid laner knows what they're doing, actually I need to take my overlay off because I'm an idiot. Overlay needs to go away. Get into game. There we go. So, in this game, what you want to be doing is pulling the camp and staying inside melee range. Now, the melee range, what we're talking about, well, it's inside the box here, so the minions will stay in aggro. And then the mage should come in and take aggro off you. And eventually, you want to be walking backwards to around here, you know, your maximum auto attack range. Always try and get to your maximum auto attack range if you can. Just for safety, there's no reason to stand clumped on something if that's the case. And then the mage should finish it off and you'll still be able to help him. But let's see how it works. What number is he on? I need to remember. 7. Okay. So, we'll wait patiently now for this camp to spawn, and we'll go through with the game. So, minion spawns at 10 seconds. What you should really be doing here, I mean, Math feels very safe, but what I'd really be doing is like standing covering an angle to keep myself safe. Like standing deep here. If you get, I'm just going to pause for a second. I know they've got a ward. They've got a... No, they don't have any wards on this side of the map. So him standing here, he's got no clue that the enemy, realistically, could be here right now. Like, they could have walked around this corner, around the Golf Fury, and be behind him ready to gank him, and he doesn't know this, you know? What he could be doing is stood here and still see the camps, and he's also getting vision of what's going on. So his decision to be here, it's very... could be a bit safer, you know? But everyone does it. Everyone does it. I'm just pointing that one out. So as you can see, Math got aggro, and he's tanking them now. But he shouldn't be tanking all this time. He should be walking away now. Instead, he's going to tank the whole thing up, and by doing this, it means he's going to be delayed on getting to the blue buff at the start of the game. Well, what does that mean? It means Coffee's going to be taking more damage on that Sobek by the time he gets there, and also he's going to sit there and wait now and actually miss the experience. I think he missed experience from that anyway, of it dying just because he stood there so long. So now we're in lane, what we're looking to do, we're looking to farm and play safe. He's against a very aggressive lane because Rom's got great push potential, and You're So Beautiful doesn't do as much damage as the wave clear Rom can put out. So you've just got to play safe and farm for the most part, especially against someone like Ares. So this is a defensive farming lane overall, unless, you know, Sobek gets a big flip, then you can go aggressive. So most part, always farm. Poking them down is fine. Try not to aggro them. Like, free poke is good. You just got to position yourself nice and far away. Always be at max distance. Another thing to note as well, see how Sobek's on the other side of the map. Never stay clumped on your support. Because if you stay clumped on your support, you can get hit by double skills. Like, you know, they both got a bit of Searing Flesh from Ares then, because they stood on top of each other. Always be looking to pushing the minions before fighting over and over again. And obviously, backing away from the minions when you've got aggro resets the aggro chain as well. So I like this decision to just back out again, take down the minions. Now, when you've got a big minion wave like this, you should be pushing forward. They're very slow in the push forward. Sobek's doing a good job. Math could be up here now auto-attacking all day because they're just tanking up all these archer minions over and over again. Get them into range and then you back out. That's all you want to do. Get them into range, back out. Because if you've not backed out, you can get yourself caught out of position. Obviously, they've got a ward here on this side of the map, where my arrow is now. But at the same time, you can also see they're quite safe to do so. So, got to continue pushing in. This is good. One thing I'll know about Math right now, he's not getting the last hits, if you notice. He's just getting general gold. Getting the last hits is more important than people realise. The extra gold you get from it is fantastic. So try and get the last hits if you can, especially if you're safe to do so. He's pushed into the tower here, and he's trying to continue the push up and keep the aggression on. I probably would have backed up sooner. He's decided now he wants to reset the lane and play it safer, which is fine. Could have done this a bit earlier, though. So we're starting to hit level 5. Now, on someone like Apollo, with your ultimate, you can split push a little bit more often because you've got the safety of the across the skies. You can also rotate late or also rotate across the map for helping out with the kills or other things as well. So it makes it different. But one thing to note here, this is the only issue you can see on the map right now. When you see these minions here, they're not in tower range, right? This is what I said during the, the little practice thing we did. You want to get them into tower range. Why? Because the tower starts hitting them. If the tower connects, they don't get any gold for that minion if the tower hits it. So pushing them in does deny gold. Right now, this isn't denying them anything. And now Math's technically overextended for no reason. And the lane's going to freeze here as well. Why is it going to freeze here? Well, it's going to freeze because these minions, these archers and these melees are all going to get stopped to take out these minions for the most part. What does this mean? Well, his back minion wave that you can see over here is going to push further up the lane, which means he's going to be overextended in this lane overall. What else does that mean? Well, if you're overextended, it also means you can get ganked a lot easier. You've got a long way to run back to your tower, as you can see on the map now, You're still not level 5, so if you get ganked at this moment because you're overextended, it's because you've not pushed up, you pushed up the lane and you've not reset it. So the lane's resetting a little bit, he's pushing it out most part. Now that he's in the position where his jungler's starting to rotate, sorry, his support's starting to rotate now. So once he's pushed this in, he can't go aggressive, and I like his decision just to back away. There's nothing for him to do. He's going to go back to base here because he's got the opportunity to do so. Remember me talking about this earlier? Push the wave out, go back to base, buy items if you can. What's he gone for? Let's just have a quick check. He's gone straight for the Heartseeker. So his Heartseeker's online, managed to pick up beads as well, and some potions. Fantastic. And if you notice, he'll get back to lane, and he's not going to miss any experience. Look at what's going to happen to Ram here. Let's just check what Ram's doing. Ram's gone back to base right now. Pause for a second. Ram's had to go back to base later than him. Why? Because you pushed up the minion wave first. And that means that when you get to this lane now, you can technically push this one into tower a little bit quicker and probably deny him some experience and some experience in gold, hopefully. At least gold. So we'll see what Math decides to do. He should realise Ram's gone back to base and hopefully try and push this one out before Ram gets back here and try and put the pressure on. If he can, this is going to be great for them. So get back to lane, get the last hits as much as possible. Should be looking to push this out as much as possible wherever you can. Ram's still not back yet. Now, he knows Ram's back in lane. He's got a full minion wave. He should be going aggressive here. Really aggressive. Like, really onto him, forcing him back under the tower. Why do you want to force him back under the tower? Because you want these minions into the tower range once again. Deny some gold. Okay? It's hard against the Ram to really do this, but he's done a good job of getting him in. He's not going to deny too much, but he denied a little bit, Every little bit counts. Keep the push going, keep playing safe. It's very, very easy for what you want to be doing. He's just farming over and over again. So we can speed up a little bit. Now you see, this was good. He went aggressive after killing the minion wave, as you saw, and he rolled in this time and went for the damage and aggression. He knows that Sobek's in the area and Ares are dueling out, so he just needs to watch himself. He's got his ultimate for safety too. So this pressure he's putting on here, I really like. Keep the pressure on him, try and force the ultimate, which he does. Now he's going to juke this one out. Jukes two. Gotta juke the third one. Good. Now when he lands so beautiful, fantastic. But now he's caught out. He should ult here. Uses beads in the end. Okay. This is Math knowing what he's doing really more than anything else. He's very safe to do so. If he would have ulted though, he would have been a lot safer. This is more risky than anything else. Like I said, getting kills is great, but farm's more important. Because if he's getting lower and lower, he's going to have to go back. If he just retreated, he would have been still decent health, still be able to farm up, and he's not got Death Gauntlets. Now he's got to be careful of Thor going up. Wait, what are you doing, man? Okay, he baits him out, lands the flip. This works out well with the rotation coming out. I know the rolling. I always call it the rolling now. I can't help it. Because it's like a rolling. And then he does the amazing flashbang. So now he's low health, right? Now, the issue is, right now, is he's going to lose some gold. I know he got a couple of kills there, but he's going to lose some extra gold off these minions. Why is he going to lose this gold? Well, Rom's back to lane, full health, full HP. Yeah, full health, full mana. Math has to go back to base here realistically. He can't stick around. And in doing so, if Rom's aware of this, instead of chasing him down, he could possibly pick up a kill here, true, and that would help him out. Or he could just push this wave out and deny Math the experience to the tower and the gold. So we'll see what he does, because I mean, denying him the experience and gold is going to be very important to him in the long run. So back to the wave from him. Meanwhile, Math's not gone back to base yet. He's going to do his blue. This is risky. Like, he wants to stay in lane for the farm, but if he gets hit by a cripple, you know, Rom is going to do a lot of damage to him. So we'll see what he decides to do here by sticking around with low health. I think this is a bad mistake, honestly, and it could pay for it with his life. There was the cripple, like I suggested. If he gets away, cool. I mean, he knows Rom's not got ult, and he's very confident in his own play. But against it, no offense to the other Rom, but I mean, if he was against somebody who knew what he was doing, he probably would have died there, realistically, in that full minion wave. And he's still sticking around. If a fight breaks out now, he can't really help the team. As you can see, there's nothing he can really do there apart from just farm again. So now he's going to look to go back to base and try and buy items, hopefully. Now we're starting to get 6 minutes in. The game's going really well for them in the most part.
Your left tower is under attack.
And once again, back to lane, continue farming. It seems really simplistic to just say, continue farming, but that's all you want to do. Get as much gold as you can, get as much as you can, as long as possible. Now, trading here in this situation is okay. Just like I said, you know, you don't want to trade. You want to try and stay safe. And you know, Rom's trying to be aggressive because he's got a minion wave with him. However, Math's pretty strong right now. Like, he's got his Heartseeker online. He's got Curse Gauntlet too, and with the level advantage, it's paying off for him with the lifesteal he's got. So he's okay to trade. He's just got to be careful about how much trade he does. He knows he's got an advantage over this Rom, but Rom has lifesteal as well. So overall, like, the trade's going to go pretty even, especially when the next minion wave comes in. Now he's gone aggressive here and been forced to use her ultimate out of there. It was a good ulti from him, and like I said, you want to play safe. If he goes back in, this is greedy. This is so greedy. Oh, Math, this play. It's greedy, he's going to get away with it though. No, he's not, he's going to die to it. Math. What did we say, guys? What did we say at the start of this? This is the whole point that I'm trying to get across about Hunters. You can get a kill, it's cool, right? Getting a kill is cool, but when you die, you're not getting gold. You're missing gold. Let's see what he's going to miss this time round, because Ares is still in lane, right? He can push this wave out realistically. He's going to miss 4 creeps here for starters. Sorry, he's blue team, isn't he? He's going to miss the big creep. He's going to miss, you know, this archer creep here as well. There's another minion wave of experience coming in. Let's see if it does actually hurt him overall. But the fact is, you're not earning gold, you know? You're not earning gold. If you're not earning gold, you're not having a good time as a hunter, honestly. So we'll wait to see when he gets back, because Sobek's going to be in lane, and Sobek's going to like, oh, free farm. Yes, please, I'll take this experience. Now, that's good for him. It's good for your team. But it's not good for your hunter. Why is it not good for your hunter? Because your hunter needs gold. So he's pushed the lane out. This is a good call from him, realistically, from Monkey. I like his decision here, but we're mainly focusing on what the hunter's doing. Now, with Math dying there, he missed a minion wave of experience overall. And he might miss a little bit more because, you know, where the minions are pushed up to him with Sobek being there, he's missed 2 minion waves of gold overall. For a kill, was it worthwhile? Well, maybe not. I don't think it was. But the whole point is to farm and get gold, to get experience. He is the highest level. He has got the most gold. But, you know, if you think about the fact that he could have had more gold if he stayed in lane over getting that kill, then was the decision right? I mean, overall it's worth in the grand scheme of things, but the one thing you should be focusing on more than anything as a hunter, as a new hunter, is gold, okay? Gold, gold, gold. And when you get your full build, or when you get the first crit item is the best way I want to put it. When you get your first crit item, that's when you're ready to fight anybody. You have damage spikes as a hunter based off the items that you purchase. And like, when you hit those damage spikes, that's when you want to go aggressive and look to fight. There's a big fight breaking out here. Now, I'm just going to go back a little bit on this one. Rewind. Okay. So the situation, he's pushing out the minion wave right now, which is fine. 4 minion waves down. Now Rom, and this fight is breaking out. Pause. What did we discuss? Once you've pushed out the minion wave, you want to look for other opportunities. This is the time when you want to fight because there's nothing for you to do in terms of gold generation. Can you generate any gold? Let's have a little look. Everything's on cooldown here around the map, and there's a fight breaking out. Now you can fight, but you want to watch your positioning at all times. And let's check Math's positioning during the fight, okay? So we'll try and half speed it. Now what he's in his position he's in, technically he's got a couple of options still. He knows this fight's breaking out. He knows he's in trouble. Now him walking here and standing here, this is good staying at max range, okay? Because he knows that if he walks through this alley, he's cutting off his options overall, realistically. When he walks through here, he's limiting his options. Now I like the decision to try and go on the squishy target at the back and try and take him out. You want to hit what's in front of you. And obviously, Ram being in front of him, the rest of the team are going aggressive and not seeing this fight breaking out. But he's putting himself in a position that after this kill, he's going to have two people to deal with no ultimate. Well, he's got his ultimate online, sorry. He's going to have to watch his positioning again. So what's his exit strategy now? Well, he's hanging around here waiting for these guys to come through. He knows they're in lane. He can see them because of the minions. Or can he? He's waiting still. Now he's going to make a decision. He's going to get hit by that and get the ult forced on him. He might still go down beforehand. Okay. Let's watch this back one again with the replay a little bit quicker this time around. So you see the aggression. Now his positioning's alright in the most part because you want to try and prioritize targets if you can, but you can generally hit what's in front of you. Like, if he aggroes these two guys here, he's going to, you know, waste a bit of time, but he knows Ram's in the area still, and with those two chasing after him, he's got an opportunity to do it. I can't remember if the Humbats dies here. If Humbats dies here, I'm not sure if it is worthwhile. We'll find out. No, Humbats gets out. He picks up Rom, which is fantastic. He knows he's not got ultimate. But now this decision here is where it goes wrong. Remember we talked about positioning and making sure you've got options right now. Like, I'm guessing he definitely saw, you know, Ares coming because the minion wave would have seen him. Maybe he wasn't scared of Ares. He didn't know Thor was coming just because of the angle. But he should have known Thor was still in the area. So his decision here to try and farm this minion wave, maybe try and get some lifesteal off it is more than anything that he's looking to do as well. Kind of just put him in a bad spot. What he could have done is just ulted straight out. He could have just ulted straight out of the area, chose not to. And once again, with that death, I mean, we killed Ram. Remember we were saying we killed Ram, and Ram's, you know, what is Ram right now? Let's have a look. He's 0-4, guys. He's 0-4. How much gold is he really worth, you know? It's good to kill the hunter because you deny him gold and experience, but if you die for it as well and you're ahead of him, you deny yourself gold as well. Right now, you've got a 1,300 gold lead between hunters, which is fantastic. When you look at the gold lead between the two hunters, always think about the fact that with that gold lead, it generates into something later on down the line, mainly. I mean, you know, a part of an item. The one item I always talk about is when you get your first part of crit. You know, when you're building your rage and you get the first little part of that, that is the difference between a hunter that's, you know, can really do a lot of damage. So you got your ultimate up anyway. What can we do? Before we do this, he's looking to engage in a fight with his team, okay? What can he do on the map? What can he see that he could farm, first of all? He knows his lane's pushed up. This is a good time to try and fight. He could be going for blue buff as well, but what his decision here is to dive and go aggressive on this team. So let's see if it pays off. Hey, Maniac! I guess you got home alright, buddy. Some amazing plays from you this week, and it's a shame I didn't get to hang out with you guys so much. That game was terrible to try and commentate on. I wish. That was the worst analysis game to try and do analysis of Hunter roll on. Oh well. Thanks for that one, Math. It was really good. So, we'll try another Hunter game so I can go through a little bit more detail, I guess, because that one wasn't as good as I was hoping for. We've got an Artemis game here. We'll do this one. As you can see, like, I'm talking about gold generation, yeah? Because this is all that Hunter should be focused on, is trying to get as much gold as possible, and then positioning in team fights. Hopefully we can find a team fight one that we can talk about. If I can't, what we'll do is we'll try and get a replay of one of the pro games, and we'll watch one of them back. I think that might be a better idea if this one doesn't go so well. So this one is going to be the viewer Mega Assassin, who sent in a replay as well. Mega Assassin sent in a replay. So what we're going to do is go over this one, and hopefully it's a bit better. I should really check this one out overall. I don't think we can get Princess Tomato, of course I do. Did you not know I had did you not see my sub? That one? I've got that one. It's amazing. He's a cow tie. Right, for this game, we're going to be following Mega Assassin, wherever he is. I can't remember his place. He's playing Armor, so I guess it's 1, 2, 1, 3, 3. Okay, let's just change this around so people realise what we're talking about here. Viewer. Enemies. So, what we're looking to do, well, we're looking to farm. Once again, we'll try and speed it up a little bit during the early stages this time round, and try and get towards our mid-game starting. I like his position a little bit better because you see him keeping an eye out for where they are. Trading early game's okay. Like, this one thing I want to talk about. I'm just going to go back to this, right? This idea that we see a lot of hunters do in the early stages in solo queue, yeah? When you start trying to get free poke damage off, it's not really worthwhile because you're not going to kill someone unless your team's with you. And most of the time you'll get 2 hits off, and by the time the minions spawn, you've already regen that health back to full anyway. So those early trades, you know, it might get your aim right, it might get your shots in and get you warmed up a little bit with your auto attacks, but other than that, it's sometimes not worthwhile to give away your position or put yourself in a position of danger. You don't know what's around this corner right now. Like, do you know they're all here? You don't, do you? Like, you could get ganked right now by you trying to do this, so maybe it's not worth doing it. Overall, you're going to get 2 hits on someone, they're going to regen it. So at the start of this game, we're going to watch you do this one. Blue buff spawns, do the blue buff. Or you're going to go for the steal. He couldn't decide and make up his mind. So, anyway, you get blue buff, and we go to lane. And we're looking to farm as much as possible. So let's see how this works out. Push into tower nice and early because you know they're going to be late to lane, as we discussed earlier on, guys. Because they're on the other side of the map, you know, you're going to be late to lane, you want to push them in. Now, in this situation here, what they're doing right now, they should be pushed up further than this. They're playing very safe. Where they should be is up around here, poking and trying to push this minion wave into tower as much as possible. Instead, he played it very safe overall. It's okay to play safe if you want to, but you give them the chance to go aggressive and push the minion wave back out and not lose golden experience. Good job, he got some of the last hits there overall. Now you're looking to trade as much as possible. This is a good time to trade. This is what you should have done straight away. Look at that trade, it was really nice for them. You popped the health with that health potion you just popped there. I think you panicked a little bit overall with that health potion pop. Probably didn't need to do that. Might have been a misclick, I'm guessing, but didn't need the health potion pop over there because he didn't need it, obviously. So keep farming as much as possible. Make sure you try and land them onto all the back minions as much as possible. Good decision. You see how he backs away here? See how he backs away? There's no reason for him to be trading here. Like, you're against an Aphrodite lane, right? Aphrodite's going to have sustain. And you try to poke onto one of them and trade auto attacks with an Apollo at this stage, you're going to be the one that loses, especially when you just use your health potion by accident or at the wrong time. If you lose a trade with this, he's going to sustain up and you're just going to be stuck on half health or whatever. And what's your job? Farm and get gold. So I like the decision to just back away and play it safe. If your support wants to go aggressive and take 3 shots of damage, there's nothing you can do about it, you know? Stay safe and farm. Get gold, get gold, get gold. That's all you're looking to do for the most part, over and over again. Get as much gold as possible. Now look what they did to you here. They pushed you into tower this time round and you lost some golden experience. Luckily, support helped you out with that hog there to make sure. You're trading safely to an extent, but like we said about the trades, you know, you're not going to win the trades overall just because they're going to have better sustain. So farm, farm, farm. Good choice to retreat back to the tower because otherwise you're going to take free poke. This is one of the defensive lanes now. Your team's decided to make this a defensive lane. Right, pause for a second. Okay, what happens when you're under the tower, guys? I just want to discuss this with you right now, okay? Actually, I want to replay this back a little bit a few seconds ago because this is quite important for you to understand that when a creep gets hit by a tower, it's not worth gold, okay? When it dies, you're still going to get the experience from it. And it's also to do with positioning. Remember what we said about positioning here as a hunter? You'd back yourself into a corner here. I'm sure I've gone over this replay before, actually. It feels like I have. You back your way into a corner here. Pause. Look what happens. You're going down this avenue. Is it easy to get hit by shots here? Yeah. I mean, So Beautiful can connect through here. You can get kissed and doved. And you're leaving yourself no options. Remember what we discussed about positioning. You always need an escape route as much as possible. And on top of that, you're still trying to hit these melee creeps here. The melee creeps are going to be the ones that get aggro first from the tower. Okay? These creeps at the back are worth gold and are going to take the longest to get hit by the tower. So, if we watch this from here right now, you're going to see you get pinned into a corner. And you're still getting aggro from the minions because you're backing away attacking them. But you're not generating any gold right now. Athena's going to come in to try and clear these ones out. And you're going to lose 1 creep overhaul all here with gold because you're going to attack it here, I feel. Going to attack going to hit? Yep. I mean, you've wasted that. And now you're going to lose this creep as well because that's going to get hit. You're not going to do enough damage to that one. What's the next creep that's going to get hit? Let's find out. You actually lose gold on this trade overall. You lose more than you should have got. Because that one's not going to die now. You'll get this one, but you get that, not get that one. You lost 2 creeps overall, I think. It looks like it. Maybe not. But if you would have positioned yourself over here, overall, you would have been able to kill these 3 creeps very, very quickly because they're a lot squishier, and then turn around and kill the melee ones. Or, you know, she could have done the shield wall like she did. So now you're in a defensive spot again, and you've got to play safe. And we're going to position ourselves again. I like change. Yes. Go to the right. This is good. You've realised it now. Remember what I said about dropping your suppress the instant, your 3, on the back minions, okay? Because these minions are going to tank up the tower for you, so you get chance to soak up these. This is going to take longer for these to kill, so you're going to miss some creeps. So you missed that one to the tower. You also missed that one to the tower. You just hit it. You missed 2 to the tower there as well. Make sure you get the back creeps, and if you get pushed to the tower like that, just make sure you get the gold. Allow the frontline melee creeps to tank it up, so you can generate more gold for yourself. This is a rough early game overall, but we're staying safe and we're looking to farm. That's the main thing. That was better on that wave anyway, for sure. Nothing you could do here apart from play safe. I love the decision you make not to go aggressive. Like, you want to play safe so you can farm. You getting caught out of position and taking damage for nothing is not going to help you out. Going to rotate around for your blue buff. Okay, this is always a tough call, yeah? This is always a tough call. But you want your blue buff, but you're giving up a full minion wave of experience pretty much before you can get this one. So it's kind of difficult to make this decision. Sometimes it's the right one, sometimes it's the wrong one. In this circumstance, if you're going to go back to tower, okay. Now, you're in a position now where you've lost your tower, okay? What does this mean for you? Well, it technically means you can farm safer. Because what you should be doing is looking to last hit, and this is something that we didn't really... We discussed last hits in terms of you should be last hitting for more gold, but at the same time, you want to be looking at freezing a lane. Now, freezing a lane is something that we don't see too much, but more and more people are starting to abuse it. Especially teams like SK did it really, really well this weekend. If you notice, we tried to comment on that one, of how they like force people into positions. Now, what does this mean for Apollo? Like, for Apollo to push out a lane and try and deny you golden experience, he has to push it all the way to this lane now, okay? All the way to this tower. That means he's going to have wall coverage to go this deep to be able to be safe at the same time. So, realistically, if you can keep your creeps around here, you know, keep the creep wave around here by just last hitting and letting them push all the way down, he's going to have to overextend and be very unsafe to be able to farm, where you, on the other hand, can play very, very safe for the most part and get your gold for free. It also means that when your lane pushes over a certain point, you also have to play very safe. Because normally, realistically, like, you could push up to around, you know, around here, and feel relatively safe. You can get back to tower range, you know. But now, the nearest tower safety for you is a long, long way away. So you have to consider your positioning at all times even more when in terms of pushing the lane out. So right now, what I'd be doing in this situation if I was him, I'd be pressing tab and going, right, what did he buy? So you would have seen he's only just gone back to base right now, and he picked up Devour's Gauntlets, and he's going for, you know, the Zapman build-esque, basically. But you've got a Heartseeker online, and so you should be stacking that overall. Now, I like this decision here. Look at his decision here. We'll be discussing this one, and the fact that with this lane right now, he can't really push it any further. Why can't he push it any further? Because he's got nowhere to fall back to. I know he could have done it a little bit more because he's got wall coverage. He could have gone further because he got wall coverage and just pushed this one all the way out. But what he did was he rotated mid looking for more gold, looking to try and get the mid camps overall. We'll see if it pays off for him though, and if he's actually going to get anything out of it. At the moment, there's not a lot he can really do, because now that minion wave's going to push without him anyway. And now he's kind of stuck with nothing to do apart from trying maybe look for a kill, maybe look for some aggression. But there's not a lot he can do now. He's just going to wait for the mid-camp to respawn to get him some gold. I like the decision overall, realistically, with how the minion wave is. But he's got to play very, very safe. He can't go back into that lane for the time being. So he gets the assist on them, gets himself some gold. This is good. And by the time he gets back to lane, hopefully, if Apollo is not sure about what he's doing, then Apollo would have pushed the lane out. We'll find out what Apollo does here. Apollo does push the lane. He doesn't just freeze it. Apollo could have froze that there and just denied you more CS, but... Remember this right now. If you attack these minions here, the further down the lane they get, the safer you're going to become. Remember this. You weaken these minions, or kill these minions, this lane's going to go normal. What does normal mean? The minion wave's going to be here, right in the middle of the lane. The minions right in the middle of the lane, where did we discuss about how far back to your safest place is going to be? It's a long, long way back. Unless you feel very confident and feel like you're better than the other AD carry, it's very risky to try and keep it for. You could, you know, let these minions tank up the front line first of all and just last hit them. Just last hit them and get the stacks. I mean, that wave, realistically, could have been there for a lot longer. Luckily, though, he's pushed all the way out. He's pushed the wave for you, so now you should just be backing up to tower. You don't want to fight him in a minion wave. Jeez, no. So, go back to safety. And now he's put the minion wave in a great position for you once again. Just last hit here. Always look to last hit and keep it safe. You'll keep the lane frozen. Because, like I said again, the longer you see here on the map on the left-hand side, his minions are now reaching this tower. The longer these minion wave could stay here, the sooner this minion wave gets round to you on this side, and it's safer for you to farm. Now, because you push that wave out with auto-attacking and not just trying to last hit and generate the gold, you've got to overextend a little bit more. I know you got ward cover here, which is good. So what you can be doing, this is what I was talking about with split push right now. You can see a lot of enemies group mid. You really, realistically won't be able to see this unless Ra walks a bit more forward, but we've got the benefit of this. And with your ward coverage here, and the ward coverage here, you're pretty much safe overall, and you should know what's going on the map. So when we press play from here, you can see, I hope you're just going to push this one out as hard as you can now. Try and deny Apollo experience, you know, for not being in his lane. Now your decision here, I'm looking to see what you're going to do. You're going to try and make sure Apollo doesn't get away back in. Now that you've seen him, just going to keep an eye on where he's going to go. If he was doing the Gold Fury, he wasn't. And now you're going to rotate mid. Now this is good. I love his decision making to actually try and rotate, because there's nothing else for you to do. You should be looking to try and get gold if you can. If there's no gold to be had, try and fight with your team and help them out, you know? You drop the ball. This is good. Get the damage on. Right, we'll talk one or two things about this, okay, with this little play. Because I love the decision you make to go over here and to get into this position to be able to fight. Because you've got nothing else to do but fight right now. There's no gold generation on the map. Only gold thing you could get is probably back experience camp. You could get that. But when we look at where you stand for this fight, let's see. Aphrodite goes aggressive, okay? Now, remember what we discussed about the whole fact... I just want to replay it one more time. I need to slow it down this time around. Let's go. Fast. 3. Now we'll slow it down. So, you go aggressive. Aphrodite comes towards you. Remember what we discussed about staying at your maximum auto-attack range to give yourself an option. Right now, where's your options? From where you stood. I know you're going aggressive here, but when she comes out, I do like the decision you go back. But right now, the only real way you could run is towards them, through them, or to the right. Because obviously, you know, backing up on yourself is a possibility. You definitely can't go left because you've got a wall blocking you. So you start auto-attacking, hopefully. Cool. And you back away, which is good. Keep at your max distance as much as possible. Because you hugged the wall there, you made it difficult for yourself. Now, you cut off an angle here, which is kind of cool. It's a shame, realistically, this wall didn't go like just the other side, because then she was cut off from roaming here. So what you're actually doing with this is you're channeling her away from this area because of where you're positioned. And you know the only path she's really got to take is down this way. So I'm hoping that you auto-attack. I know you get a kill for this one. And look at the positioning. Look how he's twisted his body, right? This is so small, but he's already positioned himself ready for the fact that she's going this direction. He knows she's going this way. So making sure that you've always got angles to be able to see. You want to get as much angle as possible as well, because obviously if she clips the corner, you're not going to be able to hit her through the wall. You pick it up, it pays off well, and you actually generate gold for yourself there. What did we discuss about the fact of hunters? You wanted to generate gold. You generated gold there, that was great. Meanwhile, Apollo pushed out the lane again. Fantastic, and now you might get some pressure on him. You can go back and farm some more gold. This is good. You've pushed into tower, and then where are you going now?
You are in for a
Zhao 1992 sub hype. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate all the subs that we get. Everything goes towards it. Wow, another sub. That puts me at what is it? What am I at now? Lost the sub goal. Need the sub goal. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Oh. Wrong screen, but I'll check. I was on 5. Okay, I'm on 6 now. Woo. Sub goal. Let's check this one out quickly. That's 6 of 10. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really, really appreciate it. There we go. I'll just move this down into the corner out of the way so it's not taking up too much screen. Right. So, back to what we were doing. You go back to the lane now. You're looking to farm and get gold again once more. Tank this one up yourself. That's fine. You're generating gold. This is brilliant. I'm hoping this goes into mid game now because I want to try and fast forward to the mid game if we can get to it. Because I wanted to see decision making as this one goes in.
Your right tower is under attack.
Alright, we'll replay this one back a little bit. We can go from here. So, he pushes out this wave on this left-hand side, yeah? Pushed out the wave on the left-hand side. This is fantastic. Now, in a way, I'm going to pause here for a second. At this moment in time, this decision to rotate mid, he goes to the mid harpies here, which is cool. He knows these are available, so he's generating gold anyway. However, in doing so, first of all, we're just going to watch this a little bit. Watch where these minions freeze in the lane, okay? Watch where the minions freeze. This minion freeze is going to stay like this for quite a long time, because your minions are now pushing up to this lane. If he would have stayed and taken this minion wave and pushed this last minion wave in, he would have denied 2 full minion waves of experience to Apollo. What that means is Apollo has to rotate back to this lane to farm it out to make sure he gets that experience. Or what he does is misses a lot of experience, you know? That's the options you're giving him. With what you've given him here, with this opportunity you've done, is by not pushing it all the way, you've left him a minion wave and a half of experience, and the lane's going to freeze for him, so that if things do go great, you know, he's going to be able to just continue farming, and you've got nothing else to farm. So consider just staying around for that extra little bit of wave of experience overall. But we saw a little bit as the fast forward went through what happens. So you get mid camp, and you can see he's overextended. You do the gank overall with him. This is great because it's generating gold once again, you know, bringing it down. Now this decision here is an interesting one from my point of view. You decide to go aggressive and look to gank on the other lane, continue with the jungler. You've in essence become a ganker all of a sudden instead of a farming gold whore that wants to try and get as much gold and experience as you can. What could you have done differently before you actually move on to this lane? Well, you know they're in trouble, and I like the decision to help your teammates out and work as a team. However, what you could do, knowing that Il Kwang's down, and you know this lane's pushed out on this left-hand side here, is you should push out this lane first. You should really push this wave that's coming in and get some pressure on the tower. You could even, knowing that everybody's over this side doing this fight, instead of you rotating over, you know, just allow Thor to rotate over there and deal with the issue. Maybe even Ra could go over. What you could do is you could push this wave out here right now, get yourself gold and experience, but then get free tower pressure on. How could you get tower pressure? Well, you know Apollo's going to have to go left-hand side to farm that wave that you left over there, otherwise he's going to miss experience. You know mid lane's dead, and you know everybody else is right. So you could get yourself some gold. Remember this rule about gold? Kills are great, but gold generation, where the key is for a hunter, get some gold by taking down that tower, and it also helps out the team as well. Let's see what you do though. We're going to go to the right hand side to this fight, and let's see how this one plays out. Now remember what we said about positioning. Positioning is very key to an Artemis. You're trying to cut off angles here more than anything else, and you're not getting any assists for this. Notice this now. The kills are going down. You've not got a single assist so far. Another kill goes down, I'm pretty sure. Oh, you might get an assist for it now. You get the kill. Cool. Okay. Undying Love saves the day there. But notice how you're taking the minions on this one as well, because your angle, like you came in as a sort of jungler-esque in this sort of engage, really. Instead of being the one that... I mean, the positioning overall was pretty good, but if this fight had gone bad for your team, when you were stood here, like you come around the back, you've zoned yourself out and left yourself in a bit of an awkward position to stay safe away from the enemy and get back to a safe place at the tower. So, overall, what did you gain for that one? You gained a kill. A single kill. Look what happened in mid lane in the meantime, because everybody came over. That minion wave actually pushed out because Apollo pushed it before he left. Apollo rotated over, pushed this one out, and so there was golden experience wasted there. Your tower took damage. You could have got some more free pressure on there as well, and you're also going to stop this Apollo rotation because Apollo's going to be stuck mid dealing with you. Let's see what else happens from this. I'm just going to follow on from there to see what gold you're going to get out of it. Cool, throwing your 3 out on them and taking the gold from that's great overall. And now we're going to back to base. Do we need to back here? Do we need to back here? That's the question. I want to see what he buys. How much gold did he have? He had 2,200. Okay. Maybe he does need to back. He can probably get his boots going online and stuff. Or his Heartseeker. Let's see what he picks up. It'll take a long time to buy. Need to work on your speed of your buying. Okay, full dev hours gone. That's fantastic.
Your right tower is under attack.
So, we're going straight back to lane now. And the problem with this is, you know, remember this? Remember this, look at all that fight that happened, guys, across the map earlier on. Remember me talking about what happened to this minion wave? Look where it still is. It's still here. Why? Because Apollo didn't go a lane. You didn't push it to tower. You don't push it to tower. You deny yourself experience and put yourself in a bad spot. And when you go back to this lane right now, you ain't got a single ward in this jungle. There ain't a single ward on this side of your jungle for your team. So you're very, very unsafe going back to this lane overall. I want to see what you decide to do now that you're in this position. Remember we said it's all about gold generation. And things like pushing the wave out correctly really plays into that one. So you get med camps. This is good because there's nothing else for you to do. Do you take the speed buff? That's my question.
Your left tower.
Right, the decision to rotate mid is good. Decision to rotate mid is a good idea because you're going to be able to farm up the minions. The only problem is I don't like you coming in from this angle. Why don't I like you coming in from this angle? Because you know Bakasura's here, you know El Kwang's here, and you're chilling yourself into a very bad spot where El Kwang could ult you. You know, like, they've got a ward here. You don't know this. But, you know, generally mid lane, they should have a ward around here. If El Kwang's got ult available, when you step around this corner, you could get hit in the face by a squall, followed by an ultimate, and you're dead. Realistically, what should you have done? You want to play safe. You want to think about your positioning. When you actually took this back camp here, instead of rotating all that way around, you should just come through this way here and come from the tower side and played it safe. You don't go mid in the end because, you know, there's nothing to get, and now Apollo's pushing out, Athena's coming from behind. You're going to fight. No! This fight, you're very similar in terms of builds right now, okay? Does he have more stacks than you? Do you know that? Have you worked that one out yet? Has he died? No, so his Heartseeker's probably fully stacked as well. Look at the gold difference. You would have known this from earlier on anyway because, you know, you should be pressing tab all the time. He's actually ahead in gold in this fight. What else has he got? He's got beads. Have you got beads? No, you don't have beads. He's also got sprint. Needs to factor these things in. Next thing you got to factor in, you're going to fight a level 10 Aphrodite. Your support's level 8. Support's level 8, she's level 10. He's level 12, you're level 11. What else are you doing? You're also fighting in a minion wave. A whole minion wave. No, 2 minion waves, basically, in this fight. Is this a good decision to fight here, or is it better to just farm up the experience first? Remember how much damage they'll do. I'm going to slow this one down because I expect it to go badly unless you play really, really well. Because these minions are going to hurt. So, ball gets dropped, gets hit onto her. She uses Undying Love immediately. Now you guys are taking damage from this whole minion wave and you're still going aggressive overall. Does come out, so they're regenning. Look how low Athena's getting. And you're chasing for a kill. Luckily Thor's coming in too. You know, we can see him on the backside of the map and Ra's rotating over as well, which is nice. But I want to see how well you do in this fight overall. I'm guessing, looking at how the fight's gone now with Thor rotating over, you probably come out on top. Think about positioning at all time. Think about your positioning, stay at max range all time. You tank so much damage from that wave. Thor's going to come in for the cleanup now that Undying Love's down. But overall, this was a risky play. Like, it relied on your teammates more than anything else to back you up on this one. The fight overall, I don't think it was a good idea to go aggressive there. Unless you knew, if you're on curse and things and you knew. I've casted this game before. I think I casted this one as something stupid. I've seen that double ultimate happen before, I swear. Unless it's another game and everyone just keeps getting double ultimates in the duo lane. Right, we'll watch this one back a couple more times. Because it's actually interesting about positioning. Remember what we said about positioning at the start when I started doing the things? Always attack the target that's in front of you. Always attack the target that was in front of you. Never chase after a target. You're in a full minion wave as well. So, what do? Well, you go for Apollo. I agree with this, you know, trying to hit Apollo. But look where Apollo is. Fighting in a minion wave, you can't hit him here. These minions are body blocking him. Here's a good positioning from him, really. She's free to hit right now because she's not got minions blocking her. But you go for the hits onto Apollo. You're over-aggressive here. You're not at max distance. I know you're trying to close the gap down. You know Thor's coming down for this one as well. But you absorb a lot of damage for this overall, honestly. Your 3 lands, I'm doing it in really slow motion because I just want to show how much these archers actually wreck you as well. Because really, they don't actually land too much damage on you. They wreck you because they block a lot of your attacks and they do so much damage with, you know, those arrows coming in are really paying dividends for them overall. And the other thing is, remember what we discussed as well? Don't stay grouped with other people. And you'll see this come back into focus again. Now you know Thor rotates back down, rotates in, so you turn back around. The good news is Thor's now getting aggro from the minions. God, this is really weird in quarter speed, but I'm just trying to get your eyesight off of what happened. Fighting this minion wave again. These minions are still blocking your shots right now. This guy's in your face. Look at this. Like, you can't get to Apollo because that's, you know, he's blocking you. Now you're going to continue to chase this overall. That's okay.
Leave me alone.
The one thing is, though, when you get into a fight, you want to try and watch rotations. And you can see a noodle coming. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. You know you're half health as well. You see the wiggle, wiggle, but you've got blood scent in your eyes now. You have blood scent. So you're thinking to yourself, oh, I can get this kill. We can get some kills here. We can get some kills here. Let's see what happens. Athena ults in. Bit unfortunate in a way, but you're both aggressing to the nearest target. I like that you didn't chase after Apollo. I'm glad that you stayed sticking to Aphrodite. The problem is your positioning is a bit whack now. Your group's on top of the other support. This isn't really your fault. This is just positioning in general of the team. That's going to cause you to actually both of you to die here overall. That's just unfortunate. It's brutal. It's brutal. So what can we take out of that realistically? Did you get a kill? No. Did you miss experience and gold? Yes. Did you lose stacks? You lost stacks as well if we take that into account. Because by the time these guys die now, you're not going to get any assists. Which means you're not generating any gold anyway. You might have got one for that actually. I'm not certain. But that decision there that you made to fight in that situation, there was a lot of negatives about that fight, you know? There was a lot of things that maybe you shouldn't have considered doing, like a fight in that wave. You might have been confident in your own play, but it didn't pay off overall, realistically. You were level 11. Look who's still alive as well. Look who stayed alive through that whole fight, the enemy hunter. The enemy hunter stayed alive. What happened as well, he's going to continue farming now. He's at full health and full mana after that engagement that you guys aggressed on and initiated in that overall. He's still able to farm and generate more gold. Let's check out gold. You're on 5.4k and dead. He's on 6.1k and alive. He's also got a level ahead difference now because of that. All this, all that fight that we're talking about and discussing here, guys, started from this rotation that he made to middle lane where he got a kill. Do you remember when we talked about him pushing out this wave and he didn't farm that last little bit of experience that was in the lane, the last wave that was coming? It left him in a bad spot, so when he came back to the lane, this all initiated from that. So remember this when you're trying to position yourselves and farm gold and stuff. It's a small thing, but it can make a big impact if you think about it. So you get your blue buff and you're going to defend Gold Fury. Okay. Right, let's just watch this fight back because I didn't really watch that. I just skimmed over it. I didn't expect a full engagement there. So you do blue buff. Defending the Gold Fury is important here. I agree. However, you're a hunter and you've got to watch positioning. You have to watch your positioning. You're more confident than you think you are. Remember this, right? What just happened in that fight just a few seconds ago? You died, so your Heartseeker stacks are not at full. You're not going to be doing as much damage as you were in that fight already. On top of that, Fluffy Noob, the Apollo, didn't die in that fight and was still farming. That says he's going to have more stacks than you in both Devourer's Gauntlets and Heartseeker right now. So trading with these two is not necessarily the good idea. You should be trying to just force a reset more than anything else. So, you going in here has to be very, very careful. If these two are doing it, you should know they've got backup nearby more than anything else. Resetting it is a good idea. Why are we standing on top of them? Remember what we discussed? Why are you in melee range? Why are we in melee range? Are you going all aggressive in this situation? You're now in a terrible angle to escape. What is your exit strategy? Your exit strategy is to run through people that are going to do damage to you, like with the back off, with the doves, with the auto attacks, with the So Beautiful. Or your only other exit strategy right now is back this way. Where does that lead you to? That leads you to the enemy jungle. Your positioning here was not a good decision. Where should you have positioned? Well, when we see you coming out, I'm going to tell you when you should have stopped. We'll see it now. Speed it up again because I've gone way far back. You should have stopped here. This is pretty much your maximum distance, guys, yeah? This is your maximum distance you want to be at. You don't want to be going more forward than this. Why do you not want to go more forward? Because where's your escape exits? Your escape exits here. You've got escape exit behind you. You're hugging the wall, which you shouldn't really be doing. You should be stuck kind of in the middle because it means you've got an easier option to turn 90 degrees and just run this way. With this option right now, you've got to turn all the way around full 180 to get out that route. So maybe just position yourself a little bit more to the right and around this angle and just auto-attack and try and force them off it. You can't do anything solo. I mean, you've not got Hog 3. They're lucky in this game. I know it's low, and, you know, they've not got a Hog either, but you should have just stayed in maximum range and used your attacks. Your decision here put you in a bad spot. Let's see how it plays out anyway in a bit of slow motion. So, always attack what's in front of you in your opportunity to do stuff. You're going to get the goal for you out of this, which is good. The ball went onto the others. Luckily for you, let's look at this. Remember that board drop that landed on Aphrodite and your position was terrible? Earl Kwong was coming in from this angle. We all saw it on the map and we're all going to talk about it. But that ball luckily went onto Earl Kwong, so this bought you a little bit of time to continue the aggression on. That was just a nice ball overall, really. But you're going to have to exit out. You get away for the most part. Now you're going to chase onto a kill here. If you chase all the way around, it's risky because they could still come around the back. But they don't, so this is okay.
Destroyed a middle enemy tower.
Just speed this one up again now. So we saw that engagement overall. Always hit the target that's in front of you. Remember that one. Never try and chase something that you're not going to hit at the same time. I have seen this video. I have seen this video. I have casted this video. I don't remember when I casted this. This was casted last week. I swear I did. This was the guy that started BMing. This is the BMing dude. Why the hell did I get the same video one? He started complaining because Thor stole the kill. Okay. I knew I casted this video before. Now I remember this video. I think everybody in chat's like, yeah, he did do this video because this is the guy that BM'd. And we had to talk to him about his BM in chat. I don't know how that's come through on the same list again. Did he put it? Maybe I went through that one already. I guess I did. I guess I did.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I realise I've casted this one. I just didn't remember it. Everyone remembers now in chat. Basically, this guy starts BMing in this game, and we talk about his BM and the fact that he's complaining about the Raw in middle lane. I remember this game pretty well. So I'm not going to review it much more than that, but if you can see the sort of decision making he's made with positioning and stuff that I didn't really focus on last time we did this one, honestly, but it's nice to go over it again technically because there was some good stuff to pick out in this video, honestly, on the second run through, especially now I'm a bit more focused on it and focused on the Hunter role especially. It was really good. So what else can we look at? Well, we'll do another video. If you've got any more videos, please send them in. Right, one more video to watch. Alright, we'll do an Ool game as well. One Ool game, and that should make more sense then. Ool. Thanks so much for watching as well, guys, man. I really appreciate it. Like, is this gonna work? No? There we go. Cool. I really appreciate you all watching. I hope you get something out of this more than anything else. If you have questions in chat, go ahead and start asking them now. Because like I'll let this one load in a little bit first. But you can also, you know, ask questions about the Hunter role in general and stuff that I can help with. You know, if there's something like ideas or suggestions you want to make or what I could do differently to make it more entertaining and more understandable, then say so. Or if you know you've got questions about Hunter in general, just ask me and I'll try and answer as many as I can. Like I think going forward, maybe I should have prepped some replays. I think I've not had a chance to, but some replays of the pro games, so we can follow the positioning awareness of what some of these guys did in the games, like Shaggy Shank, like Reels, and what their decisions were in the games that they played this weekend. Oh no, free cam again, and we need Ool. How do you record a game? Okay, to record a game, if it's a league game, as you can see, there's bands on there. You can do it with that. You can use use all the league replays, the automatic record. The only other way games will record is if you've had someone spectate the game that you were playing, if it was a normal or something. So they're the only two times you'll get them able to be replayed. So if you can send me even normal ranked games or normals that have been recorded, then that's fantastic. I can go off that. I'm just going to update this one very quickly, and then we'll go from there. And viewers. Here we go. Right. The Raise Your TSM poster. Nice to meet you, Yoink. I'm glad. Did you get all the signatures though? Because I know you were trying to get the signatures and everything. I'll have everyone. Yeah, Shaggy Shank did come out this weekend, guns blazing, man. that I knew. You know when I saw him mid lane before Game Hunter, that little rollout he did against Game Hunter? That was amazing. It wasn't rollout, but you know, the rollback against Game Hunter. That was amazing. Honestly, it was so good. I saw his position in mid and I was like, yo, he's positioning perfect to get in this fight at the right opportunity. So, Drum at the start of this game is sat around here. I don't really like this position that he's in. He should really be positioned where this ward is, honestly. And be stood around here so he can see the angles. You can get more options of where they're going to come from. I think he's going to go there now, actually, hopefully. What was he using? 9. Cool. What hunt is my favourite? My favourite is probably Rom right now. I think Anher is great. Honestly, overall, I love Anher. Because I think Anher has the ability to outplay everybody to an extent. I think it's kind of cool. Oh, good job, Drum. Remember me discussing earlier, guys, about going to your max range, let the mage tank it up. Do this every time. Aggro them at the beginning, and then make sure you go to your max range so you can get over to your buff quicker and start helping out your support. This is a really good start from him. I love that. Love to see people aware of that overall, so that's a great beginning. You also get there in a good time so that Hercules doesn't take too much damage from it because you're able to help with the autos.
Bullseye.
So our main focus is to farm as much as possible. You've got quite a high-powered aggressive lane here, so this is good. I love the stance. Oh, this is super aggression. I like it. Why is he going aggressive, guys? Why is it safe to go aggressive like this? Because he's got 3 archer minions at level 2 with him. What's this guy got? He's got nothing. He doesn't have anything to back him up, so he's trying to force him into tower. Unfortunately, he's not going to make it all the way there, but the early pressure's good. He's just got to watch his positioning. Nice shots through the minion wave to make sure you get some free poke damage onto him, but still make sure you focus the minion wave more than anything else. This is good. Look at what happened here. That was a really good first, but I mean, Hercules makes a big part of this one. But look at this, right? You notice how he's focusing the minions for the most part here? But then, he knows these two are about to die. They're going to die very shortly. They're archer minions, they're very weak. And by the time he goes aggressive on Apollo, he's going to be able to, you know, these minions are going to be dead and he's going to have the backup of his minion wave coming in. So what he's doing here is zoning with his positioning as well. Look at his positioning. Because Apollo's actually got to put himself in a tough spot to try and hit these minions without taking free damage from him as well. He's not stood on top of Hercules either. He's making sure he's in a good spot. It's free cam because I want this. That's why I actually, like, for anyone at home who's actually interested in how I use camera, I do this. This is my camera for the entire time. I'm just like this the whole game when I'm casting. I'm just clicking the map around and moving around and seeing things. That's how I do it normally. But when I'm doing the viewer stuff, I'm in free cam so I can get right behind them so I can see what they can see to an extent. Okay. So he goes aggressive here, and Apollo makes a bad decision here overall, honestly. He runs into the minion wave. And I like the decision not to waste your axe. Instead of wasting your axe and trying to use it, he's like, no, I'm just going to range him to death, you know, with this help of Hercules. Athena has to come into backup. Switch to axe here, maybe. Axe going to miss, okay. But, nice free kill. I know you didn't get the blood, but you're going to get some gold for it anyway and be able to continue to push into tower. Good early aggression coming out. Why I'm in slow mode. Speed this up now as you continue to push into tower.
Right into my trap.
Notice this as well. Notice this. The minions are all into tower range right now, okay? And he's not right on top of the tower. There's no reason to be right on top of the tower. Because if she taunts you, you're going to take damage for free. Let the minions just die there. He's waiting patiently at a safe distance overall away from the tower. He's got a ward here on this side, which you can see there. He's got a ward, so he knows his positioning was fine for that one. So I like his decision making overall there not to go aggressive and just play it safe and farm the wave out. And then he goes in one more time. Once he's got this wave down and pushes them into tight, he threatens with the axe, you know? Threatens with the axe, gets the poke in, and then backs up over and over again. You want to be doing this over and over again. Farm. When you get a chance to go aggressive because you've got no minions to farm, do it! But do it safely. You don't want to take free damage. Doesn't dive the tower, you notice this? Doesn't go too aggressive for the kill. He still gets kills for it, but doesn't need to go too aggressive. And he's always aware of where the minion waves are. This could be dangerous though. He's diving because he knows he's got Hercules with him. So he gets the kill. That's cool. Farms the wave again. Only problem with this here is, you know, with all this aggression, the ward runs out around now. This is all the same. The ward's actually still there, but they don't see the rotation until very, very late on this one. Luckily, he chose to go into Hercules, so he's going to be fine and be able to get out of there. If he went on you, you'll be in a lot worse trouble because you're out of mana. So you're back to base because there was nothing to farm. This is a good call overall.
Your left tower is under attack.
Back to base, you farmed up, now he's back to farming once again. You get back to lane, and I want to see what you do here. I'm guessing he's just going to push, because I would push constantly now. You're definitely stronger than him. You can see in terms of items right now, he's only got Dev Gauntlets too, sorry, Curse Gauntlets. Not got the full Dev Gauntlets online, which means that you're going to be winning the trades overall. You've got a nice lead in terms of gold. You've got potions. He doesn't have potions. You're also stacking your Heartseekers, and stacks are important. You've got more mobility than him as well. So if you start trading here, you're going to come out on top. You shouldn't be too scared to do so. I love the axe there. Love the axe. The aggression was good. Keep the poke up. That's just confidence based on the situation.
Your right tower is under attack.
Knowing he was weaker and Athena didn't really do anything to really stop that one. Farm, 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 far, far, farm. Let's see if we get to a mid-game. Hopefully we do. Steal away the blue buff, wait back safely, make sure the lane, you know, is nice and safe for you to farm. No reason to overextend. Go back, take your own blue. This is good. This is really nice. I love what he's doing, guys. If you notice, he's just farming, you know. He's taking opportunities to fight when he's not got anything to farm, or when he can put pressure on to deny experience and gold. But other than that, he's not going overly aggressive, really. He's picking his spots. He's going aggressive when he's got nothing left to farm every time. And he's not diving either. He's not diving. He was not diving. You notice that? He said at max range.
Killing spree.
Doesn't chase under the tower for a kill. He would have let him back it away. He allowed Hercules to do the diving. And look, can he take the tower down in this position? Possibly. What does he decide to do? He decides to go back to base and buy. Why does he go back to base and buy? He goes back to base and buy because he knows the enemy has just done that as well, and he's got a free opportunity to do so, and he won't lose any experience for it, or gold, so this is good. By the time he gets back to lane, Apollo would have pushed out more than likely. Apollo should be trying to freeze as much as possible. It looks like he is doing because he knows he's behind. And he gets back, still gets the archer minions, doesn't miss much experience, can go aggressive because Apollo's overextended. He's got so much damage now as well. We're going to hear that Apollo scream over and over again in this game, I feel. Farm, farm, farm. What's your decision now? I don't agree with this decision to back here. Maybe. Oh, okay. If he's got enough gold for the Devourer's Gauntlet, this is a good decision to back. Other than that, what he could be doing is pushing the tower down. He could take tower here. But if you take tower, what you do is you allow the other hunter to get back in the game. Remember how we talked about it last game that we discussed? The fact that when you get back, when the tower goes down, you can freeze the lane. Maybe he's chosen not to do that because he doesn't want the lane to be froze, and I can understand that decision too.
Your left tower is under attack. Your left tower is under attack.
So we're back in lane once again. I'm going to continue the farm more than likely here. Push out, look to fight. Push out, look to fight. That's what he's doing over and over again. Going aggressive, forcing Apollo into a bad spot. He's taking 3 damage against this minion wave. And he dies again. Because he does a position where you're going to get hit by Sonic Boom here. I expect you to die here overall. Let's go back. Have a little look at this one more time. Right. That looks buggy as anything.
Your right tower is under attack.
Okay, so how much gold is he worth, guys? Remember us discussing the fact that he kills this guy, yeah? Remember we said, like, when you killed someone so many times, he's not worth that much gold? I mean, he denies him experience, this is okay. But we've not got map awareness right now. This is the biggest issue with this one. So you end up spending a long time, and realistically Apollo's so aggressive because I'm guessing he expects to be able to out-trade and continue to farm like he's tanking the full minion wave as well. You got so much damage. You end his life. But now, you don't notice that when you hear that clap then, obviously I don't know if he heard this, he goes to farming again. You should be looking at the ward positioning of what happens overall here. And this is just trying to farm and not look at your minimap. Sometimes you can overextend and get caught out in positions like this. Let's see what you chose to do overall in this fight, because it's not the easiest fight to really discuss. You have to leap away to get away from Mercury. You're going to get hit by the Major Lord. Good axe. Unfortunately, it didn't land on, it should have landed on Athena, really. It was the only way you were going to survive to try and delay the taunt. But other than that, you know, that aggression to kill Apollo, you could have left Apollo alive. I know you got the kill for it, but it wasn't really worth that much for your death. You didn't lose too much experience, but just think about that.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm hoping for a late game now. I'm just going to try and skip to late game so we can get there.
Your left tower is under attack. Your right
Because at the moment it's 14-4 and I'm expecting to surrender where this is going. He's farming, he's farming, he's farming, he's farming.
killing spree. I aim to the heart.
You're big.
Tower is under attack. Your left tower is under attack. Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower.
Can I go back? Can I go back? 9. 9. Ah, I've gone too far back now.
Tower is under attack.
9. Okay. The last thing we can really talk about in this situation, right, is the fact that when he's doing this aggression here onto this tier 2 tower, he's just killed Apollo. Athena can't really do anything against him now. He's so strong. He's got a full minion wave. Pause. What does he know on the map? Well, he knows Ra's dead. He can see a big fight on the fire giant side of the map right now from the whole team. So he knows he's safe to split push here overall. He knows he's in a good position to do so. This is the split pushing option he's got available to him based off the opportunity of what other people are doing on the map. It's a good call to split push this overall. No one can really do anything. With the wall coverage he's got, he sees Merc coming in, picks up another kill, takes down the tower. This is when you're looking to split push when you can. Keep an eye on the map and knowing where people are. Make sure you got wall coverage to see the rotations coming through. This is the surrender though overall. We're not going to see much of a late game, unfortunately. Basically it's not, obviously so basically it's not worth killing them after a few times. It is worth killing them if you can get something out of it. Obvious Wolfenstein, okay? If, for example, you're going to get a tower, if you're going to be able to get a Gold Fury from that, if it's going to open something up for the map, it's worth doing. If it's not, is it worth risking your own life to get that kill and not going to get anything else out of it? No, probably not. You know, that's what you got to think about. Is it really worth doing that? No, it's probably not, because it's not worth that much gold. The more important thing for you is gold and objectives, you know, and trying to get as much as you can to get to that late game where you've got ridiculous amounts of damage. As you can see, like, Ul's very, very strong anyway. Questions?